Hello and welcome back to the Out of Bounds podcast. We are back with episode 21, I believe it is. Yeah, 21.
Um,
Last you saw, we did our mock drafts. One of us got a much closer mock draft than the other. However, when it
yeah.
came to like the day, I was like, I think this person is going to be drafted by this team, like when the team actually like was there. So I did do pretty well on draft night. I thought Aiden Hutchinson would go number one. But before, so basically, we're just gonna break down every single today. We're gonna break down every single pick that happened in the first round. However, uh, yeah. So we're gonna go over all the first round picks. However, we will talk about some of the second and third round picks. Is the fourth round still going on right now, Matt?
I think it's
Or
the fifth round right now.
the fifth round right now? Yeah. But do you know if it's still going on now? Is it live?
Yeah, it's the fifth round.
Okay. So yeah. Why are you asking us about the fifth round? Because we're gonna know who everyone's gonna be drafted by at the end of the day. We're gonna know all the big names. But let's talk about some of the surprises in the draft. Malik Willis, third round. What was
By the
it?
Titans.
Desmond Ritter was drafted before him, right? In the second round by
Yeah.
the Falcons. That is
No, I think
incredible.
that's- that's-
I can't believe that they chose Desmond Ritter and Kenny Pickett over Malik Willis. I thought Malik Willis was the best quarterback in the draft.
I
Easily.
thought Kenny Pickett was the best, but
Thing
I
is, Kenny
thought Malik
Pickett's
Willis
just
was second.
like a little bit older than those other uh, draftees of this year. However, uh, anything else we got to report on? Oh, one thing. As an Eagles fan, in the second round when we drafted that center, I was like, bruh, Nakobe Dean was still on the board. Eagles, what are you doing? And then in the third round, we get Nakobe Dean because he fell. And I was like, alright. The Eagles in this draft finessed everyone, bruh. We got a good center to who will probably replace Kelsey because Kelsey was like looking at all the centers and was like, this guy reminds me the most of me that I've seen in the past 2 to 3 years. And I was like, well, if he reminds Kelsey of Kelsey, then hell yeah, let's get this guy to be the replacement for Kelsey whenever Kelsey retires. And then we get Nakobe Dean in the third, and obviously we're going to be talking about the first round in just a few minutes. But Matt, you want to talk about anything else that surprised you or anything that caught your eye past the first round?
Past the first round.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean Desmond Ritter. That was a bit of surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Yeah. No. Nothing like. Oh my God. What? I mean, it's pretty. I mean, I didn't expect the Titans to draft Malik Willis.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they traded up to get him.
Yeah. Do you know what I think? I think that there is a possibility that Ryan Tannehill gets traded to a different team before the start of the next NFL season. And
Yeah.
some teams to keep your eyes on who, if he does get traded, I think it would be to either Carolina or the Seahawks.
Carolina got Matt Corral. I know. I don't know if he's gonna
Matt
be any good.
Coral.
Corral.
It's Coral.
I'm calling it Corral. Anyway, yeah, that
that
was
made
that was
me
that was about all I got.
that made me reminded of Finding Nemo. You know, Nemo's mom was Coral, and then the dad was like, Coral! Coral! Anyway, alright. So, if that is all we gotta really talk about past the first round, uh, I guess let's just jump into the first round. Alright, Matt, you were correct by saying the Jacksonville Jaguars will select Travon Walker, defensive end out of Georgia. What do you think of this pick?
You know, I think it was good for the Jaguars to go like I mean, it was definitely the more risky pick because he only really played 1 year of college like football, and he, I mean, he could be really great. I thought Aiden Hutchinson was better, is a better prospect coming out of college, and I think he'll probably have a better career. But Travon Walker's still a great guy for that defensive line.
I agree. I think Trevon Walker will be good. I don't think he'll be as good as Aiden Hutchinson. I think because we've seen more of Aiden Hutchinson, that the Jaguars should have gone with him. But I do think that him and Josh Allen will be trying to rush the quarterback in Jacksonville. I think that Jacksonville will look at this in the future and be like, we should have gone with Aiden Hutchinson. But yeah, that's all I gotta really say about that. And then Detroit Lions at number 2, who chose Aiden Hutchinson. I think they got a steal by having Aiden Hutchinson not going number 1.
Yeah, I think they definitely got the player they wanted in the draft. I think they were happy Aiden Hutchins fell because I think this is a player that the coach Dan Campbell loves. As I said, it fits like the culture they're trying to build, and the Lions honestly had a good draft, and they really
Hmm.
stepped up in the thing.
Yeah, they did a really nice job here in this draft. There are a few teams that did some great jobs. Some teams that didn't do so great of a job, but we'll be getting to those in a minute. All right. Number 3, the Houston Texans coming with the surprise. Derek Stingley Jr., cornerback out of LSU. I was not expecting this at all. I was thinking, if anything, Sauce was going to be going before Stingley.
Yeah, I think Derek Stingley, has the better like maybe potential, but he's injured. He has this injury, so it's not. I'm not really sure whether or not he'll stay healthy. But being said, they did get a great corner for their defense.
Yeah, I think he will be a really good corner in the future. However, I personally would have preferred going with Sauce Gardner because if you see the stats, like Gardner was, he locked down pretty much everyone. Stingley was really good too, but come on, Ahmed Sauce Gardner, he was incredible. And that's who the Jets took with their next pick, which I thought they would, because I really like the Jets GM, and I think he's really trying to transform that Jets team.
Yeah, they got they got my person. I think the best cornerback in the draft. Great, honestly. Like we're gonna talk about it later, but the Jets had the probably I would say had the best draft.
Hmm. Okay. Then next, the New York Giants selecting Kayvon Thibodeau, defensive end out of Oregon, which, as an Eagles fan, not too happy about that they got Thibodeau. Uh, I think the a lot of people why he fell to 5 was because they looked at his injury, or well, the fact that he wasn't on the field all that much for Oregon, and that was pretty much the only reason why he didn't go in the top 3, I believe. And yeah, so now he's with the Giants. I don't know if he'll have an impact year 1. I think he'll be a good player in the future, but yeah, don't really know what to say. He's also with the Giants, so I don't think he's going to be seeing the playoffs for a while.
Probably ever, as long as he's on the Giants.
Yeah, true. All right, number 6, Carolina Panthers, Akeem Ikwanu, offensive tackle, North Carolina State. I think this is a really good pickup for the Panthers. They needed offensive line help, and now they're getting it. Who will be the quarterback for Carolina? I think it will be Sam Darnold, week 1. Uh, who was the guy that the Panthers drafted?
Matt Corral.
Matt Corral, yeah. I think that maybe at some point in the season he will start for them. All right, number 7, New York Giants, Evan Neal, offensive lineman, Alabama. I think that this is a good pickup for the Giants. A lot of people thought that Cross would have gone by now, but yeah, it was Evan Neal instead. And now they're giving more offensive lineman help for the Giants, what the Giants have not had for a long time. Maybe that will help Saquon Barkley if he remains with the Giants at the start of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I had Evan Neal going 5 to the Giants, but he went 7 to the Giants because I didn't think Kayvon Thibodeaux would be there. Yeah, great pick by the Giants. Phenomenal offensive tackle, especially since I need a tackle. Um, I think he could probably start right away out of college. I think he'd
Mm-hmm.
probably start week 1, and I don't know. I think they actually did a good pick for now, for once.
Mm-hmm. All right, next pick, Atlanta Falcons, Drake London, wide receiver out of USC. I did not think Drake London would be the first wide receiver taken in this draft. And I I don't want to say they made a mistake, but I'm just surprised that they chose Drake London as the number 1 wide receiver. I do think he'll be a good wide receiver, but I don't know. He is a good contested catch type of wide receiver. But yeah, they finally have a wide receiver now because they no longer have Calvin Ridley or Russell Gage or Gauge, however his name is said. But come on, the Falcons are gonna really not do anything this season.
Yeah, who was the quarterback they got? It was
Marcus Mariota.
no, the one they just tried,
Oh,
Desmond
Desmond
Ritter.
Ritter. Yeah.
Yeah, they drafted Desmond Ritter. I didn't know that. I didn't expect. I mean, yeah, I kind of expected it, but you know. Drake London. I think it's a great pick for them. I think they got a great receiver to match up with Calvin Ridley when he returns, but they don't really have anything else on the team. So it's nice for them. It's a nice good future, but it's not gonna make a difference in the upcoming like year or two.
I don't know if you saw, but Drake put a $100,000 bet that Drake London would go within the top 10 picks, and he got $900,000 in return. I think he was using like point bets or something like that. I was hoping to place some bets on the NFL draft. However, Pennsylvania does not allow betting on drafts because they view drafts as not a sporting event, which is stupid. And PA, you gotta change that up. Although maybe it was for the right. Maybe it was like okay because I honestly probably would have lost some money there.
Yep.
All right, Seattle Seahawks drafting Charles Cross, offensive lineman out of Mississippi State. Uh, yeah, I mean, not much to really say. I think this is a big improvement for their offensive line. However, they're no longer protecting Russell Wilson now. They're now protecting Drew Lock. So even with a bad offensive line, Russell Wilson was able to like move outside the pocket and still make plays. I don't think that's something that Drew Lock can really do. But yeah, I don't really know. I think that this is a good pickup for the Seahawks.
Yep. I mean, I predicted it. I had Charles Cross going 9 to Seahawks. I did pretty good for the first 9, but
Mhm.
then everything fell apart because there was a lot of trades.
Yeah, which we didn't.
I like for the first like 13 or like the first like 9 or maybe 10, I was like, can we get some trades going here, get some interest, and then immediately a bunch of trades started coming through. Okay, so
Mhm.
Charles Cross, great offensive tackle, probably be left tackle for the Seahawks. Gets to protect Drew Lock, even though it's not going to matter because if Drew Lock actually does get the ball out, it's going to be incomplete interception or the rare occasion a completion. But it's a great pick for their future quarterback. It sets them up nice for the future.
Yeah, I agree. I think this was the pick that they needed. All right, number 10, New York Jets, Garrett Wilson, wide receiver, Ohio State. This is a good pickup for the Jets, giving Zach Wilson some weapons. He now has Garrett Wilson, OJ Uzama, and Baxton Berrios. I think that gives him much
Just
more
not gonna
stuff.
say Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore, too, my bad. That gives them more weapons for him to work with. They're not the best weapons, but they are some good weapons nonetheless. So I think that the Jets are looking at this year like if Zach Wilson doesn't uh, get us some more wins, then I think that they're gonna start looking at some quarterbacks in the next draft.
Hold up, wait, what?
I think that if Zach Wilson does not do well this season, I think that the Jets are going to be looking at some quarterbacks in the next draft.
I'm gonna say no to that. I think,
They did it with Sam Darnold.
yeah, but like Sam Darnold was Sam Darnold. He did worse his rookie year.
I don't know. Also,
I'm gonna say yeah. Yeah,
Zach Wilson, I think, played less games than Sam Darnold did in his rookie year.
anyway, for my opinion, because Garrett Wilson, out of Ohio State, great receiver for Zach Wilson to get his second year in his career. Uh, help stock up, make it easier for Elijah Moore and Corey Davis if he comes back healthy. They I don't think they drafted like a notable running back. I know they drafted one, but yeah. This is gonna be a great duo. I mean, the Wilson.
Mhm.
I just, like I won and like I see what what the Jets did, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. They could do better than the Patriots
Whoa,
in the
whoa, whoa,
NFC,
whoa, whoa,
in
whoa,
the
whoa,
AFC
whoa, whoa,
East.
whoa. Let's not jump to anything right now,
But
brother.
it just honestly depends on how much Zach Wilson grows.
I do not think that will be the case because there are a few factors between the Jets and the Patriots. Looking at QB, Patriots got the upper hand. Looking at
I would say
coach,
no.
the Patriots got. You think that Zach Wilson's better than Mac Jones?
I think so.
Okay, I think you're wrong. But then we gotta look at the coach. Belichick a million times over Saleh. I don't think Saleh is a good coach. And then just looking at the players around them, like looking at the defense and the offense, I think Patriots got an offense. It can go either way. But all right, let's talk about the next pick. 11, New Orleans Saints drafting Chris Olave,
They
wide
traded up.
receiver. Yeah, I know they did trade up.
We didn't
I
say
was
anything.
about to say it.
I
If you
think
let
that's like
me
the most important
finish.
thing. The first thing you say is
Chris Olave, wide receiver out of Ohio State, screwing over the Eagles, even though they gave the Eagles their first of next year. They were just like, let's screw over the Eagles, because the whole our whole trading process was like, all right, we don't have to worry about the Saints stealing a wide receiver from us because they'll be behind us. But then they're like, screw you, we're jumping ahead of you, and we're taking Chris Olave.
I'm happy with how it played out.
I think that we could have gotten Olave or Williams, but the
I like the
Saints
receiver we got better.
screwed us over. Yeah, me too, honestly.
As a Jameis Winston fan, which kind of makes me root for the Saints. Great pick by Chris Olave. They traded up for him because, I mean, yeah, because I think
Facts.
the Eagles probably would have drafted him, and I mean, it's gonna be a great from Michael Thomas. and Jameis Winston, who's gonna just throw in dimes. That's all he's got to do now. He's just got to throw it downfield, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. I put $10 on him to win MVP. He's gonna win it.
Bruh. Alright. The New Orleans Saints, you lost $10 to think that he's gonna win MVP. But yeah, New Orleans, they got a good wide receiver. All right, next the Detroit Lions at number 12. I believe they traded up for this. Who did
Yeah,
they trade up with? I forget.
the Vikings.
The Vikings, and they stole Jameson Williams from us, the Philadelphia Eagles, and this is good for the Lions. Jared Goff will now have DJ Chark, Amon St. Brown, and Jameson Williams. And they also got TJ Hawkinson. Those are some great weapons. I think that if they just improve that O line a bit, I think they can be. They will definitely win a lot more games this year. But although you do have to get a new quarterback than Jared Goff. Jared Goff is not a quarterback that can lead you through the playoffs. But
He only made it to the Super Bowl.
yeah, his defense made them go to the Super Bowl, but sure. Also, he's in the Mike, or
Dan
uh,
Campbell.
no, I was talking about Sean McVay system. And so really, that's a system where any quarterback can thrive in.
We're the
And
Dan
then,
Campbell now, biting them kneecaps.
bro, I don't see Jared Goff biting any kneecaps. Imagine going from nice sunny LA to up north cold Detroit. His wife was probably like, "No."
Okay. Um, what what did they give up for this? They gave up 32nd, 34th, I believe.
Hmm. It's
Yeah, I
good.
think they gave up like 32nd, 34th. Um, I thought they would draft Kenny Pickett at 32, but they did not even get the chance, even if they did. Um, Great trade. They actually have a good wide receiving core for once. They have good weapons for whoever, for Jared Goff, I guess, now, to throw the ball downfield. Their offensive line's in the right direction. They got Penei Sewell. The defense is doing better now. They got Aiden Hutchinson. Good
Mm,
job by the Lions. Moving on to our Philadelphia Eagles.
at number 13. They
Trading
traded
up
up right in
from
front of the
Houston.
Baltimore Ravens to get Jordan Davis, defensive tackle out of Georgia. This is a good move, I believe, because I think the Ravens would have tried to get Jordan Davis.
Yeah, I think he's huge,
Mhm.
and he ran an amazing 40 time at that thing. I think he needs to lose a bit of weight to help his stamina. He's gonna be a rotational player for this year, but I think next year I think Fletcher Cox is probably not gonna be here next year, so I think he's gonna be really good next year.
Yeah, he'll probably be DT number
Starter.
one. He's also really good at stopping the run, which I think we needed. Cause I was about to say we're usually behind in a lot of games, but hopefully that will not be the case anymore. Let's go
I have a
Eagles to
problem with
win
this pick.
NFC East. Let's go.
I would have much rather Kyle Hamilton.
I mean, that's understandable. Hopefully we sign Tyron Matthew because I did want a safety like
I
Kyle
think
Hamilton or
Kyle
Jaquan
Hamilton was
Brisker.
probably he was the best safety in the draft. He was like a top five like top five player in the draft.
That's another thing with the second round pick. We could have probably got Jaquan Brisker, I believe. I think he was still
No,
on
we
the
couldn't.
board.
No, he was gone.
Oh, he was taken by Chicago before?
Yeah, he was taking Chicago.
Alright.
He was taking by Chicago.
Chicago. Alright. Number 14, talk about Kyle Hamilton, safety out of Notre Dame. Baltimore Ravens. They got him. How did you feel about that?
Great steal by the Ravens. This is incredible. They amazing defense. They just got they got the person who probably dropped so far, the second best drop behind Malik Willis. He dropped right into their hands, and they got an amazing safety. Cool. I mean, it's just I'm looking defensive rookie of the year campaign coming on.
Wow. Over Aiden Hutchinson or Travon Walker?
Campaign. You know, I never say he's gonna win it, but he's gonna be a campaign.
Sauce. The sauce?
Well, I mean, Sauce Gardner's gonna be playing with no other cornerback, so he's gonna have to be like, oh, that guy's covered. Let's throw it to the other person.
Hmm.
It's gonna be wide open. Okay.
Alright. I mean, this is a good pickup for the Ravens. However, I don't think the Ravens are going to be doing well this year. They also gave up their wide receiver, Marquise Brown, to the Arizona Cardinals, bruh. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. Let's just go on to the next one. Alright. Houston Texans, Kevon Green, offensive lineman out of Texas A&M, going to the Houston Texans. This is who we traded with in order to move up in front of the Baltimore Ravens, so we gave them the 15th pick, and now they got an offensive lineman to help protect Davis Mills. Now the Texans got a nice corner, and now they also got a nice offensive lineman. So they improved both sides of the ball, sort of like our Eagles did.
I don't know much about him. I hear he's pretty good, and I think he'll be good for them whenever they finally find their quarterback. If that's soon.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think Davis Mills is going to really do much this year. But number 16. Attention, sir! Commander Carson, sir! The Washington Commanders getting Jahan Dotson, wide receiver, out of Penn State. I just did the salute for the Washington Commanders. Carson Wentz, he has the weapons. He has Terry McLaurin. He has Jahan Dotson. He has Logan Thomas, although Logan Thomas isn't that good of a tight end. And he also has the running back, Antonio Gibson. This Commanders team is someone to watch out for this upcoming season. Commander Carson. Let me tell you a little something about Carson Wentz. This man, Matt likes to think that little Jameis Winston should be winning Comeback Player of the Year. My man Carson Wentz is going to a completely different team. This is the guy to watch out for Comeback Player of the Year. This man is a good QB, yet you all refuse to give him the respect he deserves. And you should start giving him the respect he deserves. I think they probably could use some offensive linemen to help Carson. They could also use some defensive help in the corner and linebacker position.
What corner were they going to draft?
There wasn't any. Oh, they could have gotten Trent McDuffie, but I think this is a better thing for them. Jahad Dotson.
I'm just gonna go back to what you said. I said Jameis should win Comeback Player of the Year. I never said that. I said Jameis will win Comeback Player of the Year.
Nah. Carson.
Unless he wins like MVP and they're like, oh, we don't want to give you both. But I mean,
they don't
should.
give players both.
They should.
Can only win one award.
Yeah. Good for the Commanders. He's a bit small, but I think it should be fine.
91 catches for 1,182 yards and 12 touchdowns at Penn State. Although, let's be honest, as Penn State fans, Jahan,
I don't think you're really.
You skipped out the bowl game.
Really. Yeah.
Why?
He didn't want to get injured. He didn't. He's like, I don't want to get injured.
I don't like when players do that. They're like, we're preparing for the draft, and then it's like, bruh, like, come on, bruh. This is your final game at your college. Don't you wanna
You know what all they
enjoy
did for you?
this? Yeah. Also, your coach is wanting you guys to play because uh what was I gonna say? Yeah, because of what everything he's done for you. Not to mention, you're screwing over other people on your team by not going to the Rose Bowl game, or I don't know if it was the Rose Bowl game, this year,
It was
but
definitely not.
it wasn't. Yeah. However, there's like in college football, there's this thing where you can be on a college football roster, and if you don't play a certain amount of games, you can do another year of college football because obviously, if you don't play much games, then NFL scouts won't be able to recognize you. But because they skipped out, those guys had to play that bowl game, and because of that, they couldn't play an extra. They're not able to play an extra year in college now, which kind of screws over their chances at going to the NFL, which if I was one of them, I'd be pretty pissed about because it's like I didn't start every single game, yet now I can't uh, do another year of college because all these guys who were already guaranteed to be going to the NFL didn't want to risk injury. So I think it's just it's like I think it's very ignorant for those players to do stuff like that. I understand what they're trying to do. They don't want to be injured. They don't want to end up like N'Kobe Dean, who got injured and then fell to the third round. They wanted to be first rounders. They wanted to get paid, and I understand that. But I think it was very rude and ignorant of them to do that, especially for a college team that did so much for them.
The truth.
All right.
Yeah, we kind of went. You kind of went on a rant there.
I
But,
did, yeah. I apologize. I should say,
next,
by Bo
the
Burnham, my
Chargers.
apologies, and then starts to sing that funny feeling in the comedy special Inside. If any of you have not seen Inside on Netflix by Bo Burnham, who started
Because
it,
we're not going to talk
directed
about
it,
it because we're not
written,
getting
like
sponsored.
did every
We're not
single
getting any
thing.
promotion out of it. We're not getting anything out of it.
No, I don't care
No, we're not.
if
We're,
Bo
no, no,
Burnham
no,
doesn't
no.
give me any money. I will promote Bo Burnham to the day I die. Bo Burnham is amazing.
I do not promote. I do not promote.
All right. Number 17, Los Angeles Chargers, Zion Johnson, offensive guard out of Boston College. Again, given second year in a row where they're drafting an offensive lineman to help Justin Herbert. This is what he needs. Justin Herbert, he has the wide receivers. He has a spectacular defense. Now they're giving him more time to throw. This guy, I think, is someone to watch out for MVP. I think he's going to be getting more votes for the MVP than what's James Winston. Yeah. So
Okay. Good pick for the Chargers. I mean, they have so many like good things they already have. You know, it was like, what could we upgrade? But I think they got maybe the right tackle for the future.
mhm.
Which would be great. I'm just like, you know, I'm so hyped for what we're about to talk about next. That I just say, good job, Chargers. Let's move on though.
All right, the Eagles were on the clock, and I was at my friend's house. We were watching the draft, and then I saw traded to the Tennessee Titans, and I was like, "Oh, look at the screen! They traded to the Titans! They traded to the Titans! Do you think we got AJ Brown? Do you guys think we got AJ Brown? Do you guys think we got AJ Brown?" And they're like,
Actually,
"John,
they traded
shut
it.
up." And then
They
I
traded
got
it before. They traded it before
hmm.
they were on the clock.
No, wait. I thought they were on the clock, and then they traded it.
Maybe they were on the clock, but like
It was like very early on the clock.
it was before. It was before the pick. They announced the team before's pick. I remember that.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so then I was like, "Do you guys think they got AJ Brown?" And then I got a text from Matt, and he's like, "Eagles got AJ Brown," and I was like, "Let's go!" And then we just start going crazy for the rest of the night. The entire night, the only thing my friends and I could talk about was AJ Brown. Like, it's freaking incredible. We now have AJ Brown. The Eagles have AJ Brown. Now they got A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders, And
Quez Watkins.
I was gonna say, and Jalen Hurts, who, if he steps up, this is gonna be
No excuses for him. If he
huge.
does not perform,
Mm-hmm.
then he is off the team.
Exactly. No more excuses.
He has to be he has to get them to the playoffs and has to be probably a top 10 quarterback.
I was gonna say top 7. You need to be a top 7 quarterback in order to win a Super Bowl. If he doesn't go to the NFC Championship, we have something to discuss.
Okay, we're gonna pause there. We're gonna sit on that.
I think that if he goes to the NFC Championship, he doesn't have to win it. Then maybe I can consider giving him another year. However, if he does not, I got some stuff on my mind that I got to talk about.
Okay, moving on to who the Titans actually selected.
Yes,
Treylon Burks. I'm doing this.
Okay, talk.
Treylon Burks, wide receiver out of Arkansas. It's funny. The person I'm looking, like the place I'm looking at, said his pro comparison was AJ Brown, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
They replaced AJ Brown with him. Honestly, I think the Titans did were just like the most shocking in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
They would move off AJ Brown during the draft.
And then I didn't expect they would get Malik Willis in the 3rd round, or at all.
I thought if any wide receiver was going to be traded on draft night, it would have been the 49ers. I thought they would have given Deebo Samuel to like the Jets for like 1 first-round pick this year and like a 2nd or something. But apparently, this is a rumor that the Jets offered both the 4th and the 10th pick for Deebo Samuel, and the 49ers declined. Which I think that is stupid.
The Jets would have been stupid for that.
Yeah. If you're giving up that much for Deebo, like Deebo's a great player, but 2 top 10 picks, bro, you gotta be crazy if you're giving that up.
I doubt they actually did that. I mean, giving up the best corner in the draft and then a good receiver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, alright. Yeah, the Tennessee Titans, it's funny. What's their safety's name for the Titans? Byron?
Byard.
Kevin Byard, yeah. Someone like said, let's draft, and they named some wide receiver. This was before the first round of the draft started, and he said, no, we already got our wide receiver 1. And then in the draft, they lost that wide receiver 1. So that was funny. You want to talk about the next pick, the New Orleans Saints?
Yep, the New Orleans Saints. Now, this got me a bit nervous because, both quarterbacks were still on the board here. And I was like, there's no way they move off Jameis. Like, why would they do that?
I was actually kind of hoping for it because I would have died laughing. And if that would have happened, I would have I would have texted Matt so much throughout the night about how they moved off of Jameis Winston and the Commanders. They didn't draft the quarterback. And if the Saints did,
the Commanders drafted a quarterback.
That was later on, bro. Anyone drafts a quarterback at that point.
Okay. Trevor Penning, offensive tackle out of North Iowa. He's 6'7", so he's pretty big. He's definitely a step back from Teron Armstead, but I still think he is a good enough tackle to step in and to block for Jameis. Like push him aside because Jameis Winston, throwing the dimes doesn't even need the time. He's just throwing dimes to Chris Olave, throwing the slants to Michael Thomas, throwing the checkdowns to Alvin Kamara, throwing the screens. Just watch.
He also started 31 out of his 33 starts for Northern Iowa. I think this is a really good pickup for the New Orleans Saints. But yeah, what Matt said. I think he'll be their left tackle for many years to come. All right, number 20, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Kenny Pickett, quarterback out of Pittsburgh or Pitt. I thought they would go with Malik Willis. I was wrong. They went with Kenny Pickett, and I think little old Mitch Trubisky. You shouldn't start him. You should start Kenny Pickett. I think he is more NFL ready than Trubisky, who is a guy who should be in the toilet when it comes to the NFL.
Yep. Um, I thought they were gonna go Malik Willis here. I thought, my Mike Tomlin, having his dinner date with Malik Willis.
Hmm.
I thought, that might be a sure done thing. But Kenny Pickett gets drafted here. I think he's the best quarterback in the draft, especially with the Steelers. I say he comes in sometime this year. I would say Mitch Trubisky probably plays more games.
I say Kenny
Uh,
Pickett starts before Week 10.
uh, yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. I think this is a great pick if you're a Steelers fan. I think this kind of throws you back in the AFC North again
No,
with
no,
versus the Ravens
no,
and
no,
Steelers.
no,
No,
no. The Bengals are winning that division.
but no, but like against the other, like because the Bengals are, but like second still open. I
Oh
think.
yeah, they could beat the Ravens with this pick.
I think they could beat the Browns just because of rivalry and
The Browns they could also beat.
they
Yeah.
do.
All right.
Next up,
Next up, the trade between the New England Patriots. They give their first round pick to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs select Trent McDuffie, cornerback out of Washington. This is a really good move for the Chiefs because they lost Tre'Davious Ward and Mike Hughes in free agency. I think this gives them a big help in the secondary that they needed. They also got Justin Reed there because they lost Tyrann Mathieu. Hopefully the Eagles pick up Tyrann Mathieu. But yeah, this is a good pickup for the Kansas City Chiefs.
yep, Chiefs getting better, except that they lost Tyreek Hill. Getting better on defense though. Actually, no, they lost the Honey Badger, who should sign with the Eagles right now. He sees what's going on. He should immediately call the Eagles and be like, how we get this working.
Hmm.
Call us right now. Call me. I'll go drive down. I'll go be like Howie. We gotta talk. I got him on the phone, and I'll broker a deal. I'll be his agent. He can call me anytime, any time of the day. I'll take it.
Really? Because I text you at like 1 a.m. and you're not available. You're asleep at that
Um,
time. I
you're
think
not the Honey Badger who's gonna
Honey
be paying
Badger,
me
if you need an agent,
some money
call me. I actually have done accounting. I know that's not the same thing as being an agent, but I know how to move the money around.
with a money run. Was he like he's just he's money laundering? Like what? No, this is
No.
legit money.
No. All right, let's just go to the next one. The Green Bay Packers choose Quay
Traded.
Walker. What's that?
They traded up
Who did they trade with?
the Raiders.
They got this through that trade earlier.
My mistake.
Quay Walker,
I just see
linebacker,
traded. I'm like,
Georgia.
oh yeah.
But yeah, this is a good linebacker, I believe, for the Green Bay Packers. I mean, they needed a linebacker after moving off. Was it Darius Smith that they lost? I believe so. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is a good pickup for them.
I would say, um, Devin Lloyd was still here at this time, who I think is the better
Hmm.
linebacker, and I think Devin Lloyd, I would have drafted Devin Lloyd instead, but it's still the good they got a linebacker to replace.
True. All right. Next, the Buffalo Bills selecting Kair Ilam, cornerback out of Florida. I know I probably said his name wrong, but now White, he needed some help in the secondary.
But he was
He
injured too.
tore his ACL, yep. So now they bring another quarterback to pair along White, which will really help this defense. I think this is a really good pickup. Sorry about that.
Josh Allen
Burping.
Super Bowl.
But yeah, I think
MVP.
this is a really good pickup for the Buffalo Bills defense, and obviously they brought in Von Miller to help rush the quarterback. I think this will be a good pickup for the Bills, and
In the more realistic sense, MVP Josh Allen coming on win the Super Bowl.
perhaps, perhaps, I think he
Great
needs
pick,
another wide
good
receiver
corner.
too.
Um, I think was Andrew Booth I was looking at, but you know, good pick by the Bills. I think they did trade up to get him. Cut, yeah, pretty sure. Okay.
All right, everyone, it's time for. Make sure you're not eating or drinking anything because it's time to take a little laugh. At number 24, the Dallas Cowboys select Tyler Smith, offensive lineman out of Tulsa. Oh, the Cowboys, Cowboys, Cowboys. You guys chose Tyler Smith over Tyler Lindenbaum? Bro, these guys.
Well,
They
they don't really
needed a
need.
center,
Do they need?
and this guy was flagged so much in Tulsa. Now he's going to the NFL, in which he'll be playing more games a season. This is gonna be flags for the Cowboys offensive line holding for a
We
bit,
already
which
were
I'm already
horrible at that.
loving.
They were already horrible at like holding last year.
Yeah, this is really bad for the Dallas Cowboys, bruh. I am sorry, Cowboys fans, but you guys should have picked Tyler Lindenbaum. You guys needed a center, although you did need an offensive lineman too. I think Tyler Lindenbaum would have been the better choice.
Who we talk about went up next.
Yep. Baltimore
In
Ravens. They
one of the
selected Tyler
stupidest
Lindenbaum.
trades, I think.
Hmm?
I'm gonna say that was a stupid trade. They traded Marquise Hollywood Brown and a third round pick for a first.
Hmm. I mean,
What?
yeah.
They don't have a receiver. Who they have?
Apparently, they Marquise Brown wanted out of the Ravens, so he got what he wanted. The Ravens got the center Tyler Lindenbaum, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's what I was saying. How I mean they got Mark Andrews as a weapon for Lamar Jackson, but other than him, who do they really got? They do
No
have
one.
that one wide receiver they drafted last year. I forget his name. Who was it again?
I don't remember.
I think he will. I mean, he's not wide receiver one. I don't think, but he'll be open in some areas for Lamar Jackson. All right, but yeah. Anything you want to say about Tyler Lindenbaum and the Ravens?
I guess good. You got a center.
They needed that.
Doesn't really matter if there's no one to throw to. Mark Andrews can't get open if he's got two people covering him.
Yeah, I don't think that Lamar is going to be having a good season. I'm just going to say that right now. All right, 26, the New York Jets moved up, taking Jermaine Johnson, the second linebacker out of Florida State. Great pass rusher, Jermaine Johnson. This is a good pickup for the Jets, getting someone else to rush the quarterback. I think this is really good for the Jets, who've had already two great picks in this draft, and this just bolsters that defense up a little bit more.
This is an amazing job by Joe Douglas trading back up, seeing that Jermaine Johnson fell to 26.
Hmm.
He was phenomenal, and he's a great player. I think I was like after the draft, after I was doing my prediction, I'm like, oh my god, I forgot about Jermaine Johnson.
I was like, bruh,
And
Jermaine Johnson's still here. I was like, bruh, if Jermaine Johnson falls to the second round because the first round's almost over, Eagles, do whatever you can to trade with the Bucks to get the first round of the second round, first pick in the second round.
I wouldn't even been mad if the Eagles drafted him at like 13 or 15, like at their original 15. I would
Wow.
have been like, wow, good job.
Mm,
He did great.
I do
Good job,
agree.
Jeff. Best team in the draft.
Yeah, Jets, you guys did a fantastic job here in the draft. This team who also have the next pick, Jacksonville Jaguars, you guys did a great job in this draft. The Jags came back up into the first, got Devin Lloyd, linebacker out of Utah. They needed a linebacker after they lost Miles Jack, although they did replace him with Foy Olakun in free agency. I think this is a really good addition to the defense because in free agency, the Jacksonville Jaguars did a lot of adding on the offensive side. Now through the draft, they're adding on the defensive side, which I think is a really good job. Uh, and also, you got to have a good team around Doug Peterson because Doug Peterson is a Super Bowl winning head coach. You give him a good team, he's going to lead that team into the championship. Doug, I hope you kill it in the AFC South, Jacksonville, and I hope you absolutely destroy the Colts this year. Let's give a round of applause for Dougie P.
I
Keep
hope
on
he just
destroying
does
the
well.
Colts.
Um, oh yes, good for the Jaguars to trade back up to get a good linebacker for them. You know, who I thought the Packers probably should have got where they were.
Hmm.
Um, good for them.
I think
I mean,
that's who the Packers would have drafted if he fell to them with the next pick.
well, no, they wouldn't have drafted another linebacker.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes you gotta draft who the best person available in the draft is.
Mm.
All right, talking about the Packers, Green Bay Packers, they next at 28 chose Devontae Wyatt, defensive tackle out of Georgia. Really good pickup for the Packers. Another person to rush the quarterback, although I think they should have gotten wide receiver help for Aaron Rodgers, although in the second round they did choose that wide receiver out of North Dakota State, Christian Watson, who I think is a really good pickup. A lot of experts are saying this is a wide receiver to look out for, and now he's with the Packers, and that's going to be their wide receiver one next year for Aaron Rodgers. I
No,
think that's someone to keep your eye on.
no, Randall Cobb's wide receiver one.
Nah, I think he's going to stay number two.
Well, he's number one now, and he will stay number one.
So, I guess I'll be doing the rest of this draft. All right. So, at 29, New England Patriots, Cole Strange, offensive lineman out of Chattanooga. What the hell? I never heard of that college before in my life. But good for Bill Belichick adding offensive line help to help Mac Jones. This is a really good pickup for the Patriots, and yeah, it's just really good overall pick for the Patriots. I think they didn't really need. They could have gotten some more help on the defensive side, staying at where they were. Maybe could have gotten Devin Lloyd or one of the other linebackers. I think they needed some linebacking help, although they also needed some offensive line help, especially after trading away that guard Shaq Mason to the Buccaneers earlier on. So I don't know if this is the best offensive lineman. He's probably one of the best left, but yeah, I'd say it's an okay pick. All right, number 30, Kansas City Chiefs selecting George Karlaftis, defensive end out of Purdue. I think this is a really good pickup. I thought he would have been picked up sooner, although here he is now as Kansas City Chief. Um, I think this is a really good pickup. Like I said, they needed some D line help, and this is the guy who's gonna help bring it. I think where they traded up at. Let me see. Where did they trade up again? They went to 21. Trent McDuffie. Yeah, I think Trent McDuffie wouldn't have been left. So I would have said that they could have used Could have gotten Jermaine Johnson because Jermaine Johnson was still there. But George Karlaftis is still a good defensive end out of Purdue, and I really like this pick.
Same.
He's back.
Okay. I missed the Patriots. I had to quick do something. Like what?
Yeah.
Like what?
I think he'll do okay. He's not going to be that good of an offensive lineman. Cole Strange.
Bill Belichick must know something, or they made the biggest mistake of drafting out of need. Like the big, that was.
Bill Belichick.
They could have got him in the 3rd round.
He does better in free agency than in the draft. But yeah,
Okay.
you're right. I don't. Well, 3rd round. Well, let's not take it too far. They probably could have gotten him in the 2nd. All right. Final 2 picks. Cincinnati Bengals getting Daxton Hill, linebacker out of Michigan. This is good for the Bengals. They needed linebacking help, although they also needed corner help. So, I mean, Daxton Hill, he's very athletic. He's built more like a corner. He is a good tackler, and he had a really quick 4.38 40-yard dash. So I think this is a good pickup for the Bengals. I think they could have used some tight end help by getting Trey McBridge, but it's whatever. But yeah, Matt.
Good pick. Match up with Jesse Bates. They need a corner, but you got a safety. He can help the corners out, which is good.
Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings. Shut up, Lizzo. All right. Yeah, I have to say that whenever
You're the one that brings it up though. So
because it kept. I don't know which news station it was, but I have a news station wake me up as my alarm 2 years ago. That kept playing to wake me up every single morning, and it pissed me off.
that doesn't mean you have to keep doing it.
Every single morning at 7 a.m. I would hear Minnesota Vikings. Pissed me off. I hate Lizzo, and I just all right. Minnesota Vikings select Lewis Sign. I don't know, linebacker out of Georgia. This is an okay pick. I don't think the Vikings really needed to trade back. They could have gotten a better linebacker, like Karlaftis or someone else, or Devin Lloyd, earlier on. But instead, they got Lewis Sin. I guess they looked at this guy and they're like, he is going to be our replacement for Harrison Smith in the future. So, yeah, but anything you guys say about that pick, Matt?
Yeah, he can start with Harrison Smith as the other safety, and then eventually when Harrison Smith, he can learn from one of the best, and then when Harrison Smith does eventually retire, he can fill in that role for a couple of years. Well, I mean, a good amount of years.
Alright, let's end this video quick. We went over an hour, bro. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. So much editing I gotta do. Alright. That is going to be the end of the episode. I hope you enjoyed us breaking down the draft and who we thought was going to be good, who we think is not going to be as good. But first rounders usually do pretty well in the NFL in recent years. Some of them get arrested. Some of them turn out to be stars. So we will see what happens in the years
Jameis is the
to
GOAT.
come. Stop saying that every episode. Oh my gosh.
And